everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is another episode of Impact Thursday with Constance. Please stay tuned and enjoy. Remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And lastly, click on that notification bell to get more videos. Welcome to another episode of Impact Thursday with Constance. My name is Constance Marco, and today I'm not alone. I'm with my guest, Miss Ompile Peters. She is a professional pharmacist. Welcome.
Thank you, Constance. Thank you so much for having me today. Hello, everyone at home.
All right, such an honor and a pleasure to have you here today. And today we'll be speaking about the drug abuse. You know, I'm so concerned about our youth. In terms of the rate of, how young people are just getting into drugs, and that can be a limitation for them to pursue their education. So today we'll just be speaking about drugs, and when I was reading through the statistics, you see that 80% of male youth deaths are related to drug abuse and alcohol consumption. So it's really a concern. I believe that we need to awaken one another in terms of what drugs can do to a person. Our brothers and sisters out there, it's not something that we can ignore. So we just want to shed a light, especially to those who are still in school. It's very important that they focus on their studies and they don't allow the pressure of getting into drugs to actually consume them. So I'll speak to Umpile. What are the common drugs that usually the youth use, especially in South Africa?
There's quite a number of drugs that people use in the black market. I'm just going to mention a few of them, as well as the common names that are used in the streets, so to say. So that's in the black market. So what we've seen is initially people used to use a class of drugs called barbiturates. Common names are barbs, rainbows, sleepers, doomers. As you can hear for yourself, these common names more or less relate to the effects that the drugs may have on the person when using them. And then we move along to drugs called opiates. People have common names for them like H, flowers, hazel, and we've got most common ones in our generation now, the nyalbe that people use, which is a mixture of dagga, marijuana, mandrax, and heroin. Then we've got something else which is a bit more common in our school, even from secondary school and varsity, and that's cannabis. People use cannabis quite a lot, and we've seen that over the past few months, controversial use by the way, but it has been seen to be a bit more accessible than it used to be. Now we see cannabis in more like the herbal extracts, to the drinking liquid formulas, as well as people smoke it as joints, people put it in the food products that they consume. So cannabis seems to be the more common ones amongst young people, both male and female these days.
Very, very important. So I'm just wondering, what are the effects of these drugs on somebody, long term or short term?
So I just want to take everyone through the process that happens when a person begins to use drugs. So the process in which it happens is, first want people to understand that people are different. They react differently to drug substances when they are being used. So the process in which that takes place, because it has an effect on the brain itself, there are more specialists or experts that may be able to explain better the behavioral patterns and the habit forming, but the effects that usually happens is the process at which it happens is, firstly, a person begins to develop what we call tolerance for the drug, which means that a person has a desired effect, the effect that they want to have. People use these drugs to achieve a euphoric state, so to say. It's an escape, to it's like a fantasy, for a calming effect. You want to feel good, you want to feel a bit relaxed, and as a result of maybe depressed state, an anxious and anxiety that comes about. So the effect of those, when I was still explaining on tolerance, that a person begins to develop tolerance for the drug, of which there's a desired state that this person wants to achieve, the euphoric state. So then what happens is that the person gradually begins to use more and more of the drug, and they become tolerant to it. So that means that they begin to need more and more of the drug to reach the same desired effect. And what happens is you gradually begin to use more and more, and the person ends up becoming dependent on the drug. And that process is what happens when, in the absence of the drug substance, the person then becomes to experience with what we call withdrawal symptoms. So those are the two phases in which what happens in most people who are using the drugs.
So what are those withdrawal symptoms that you say? What are some of those that we can pick up from?
The withdrawal symptoms that people may exhibit as a result of using these drugs, on the milder side of things, people begin to become depressed, become restless, become agitated, because the brain works to regulate and control other symptoms of the body. Some people may experience nausea and vomiting. Unfortunately, on the other side of things, because the brain would have been used to the person using the drugs regularly, if there is an abrupt disruption of the drug use, the person may end up in a coma or may even die.
That's hectic, guys. So, I think for the parents or us, our sisters, our brothers, our friends, how can we notice when someone is now into drugs? What are some of the symptoms that we can pick up?
Well, to try and help identify that if your loved one or if your friends are using drugs, you can help identify. There are various ways in which you can be able to do so. First, you start observing that the person has a more starts developing a closed-off personality. They become even more depressed. They become less interested in the activities that they would normally be interested in. And you suddenly see the inability for them to be able to take care of themselves anymore. They no longer look after their health, because all they're interested in is getting the next hookup, the next joint. They no longer take care of themselves. They may display some weight loss because they may not be nourishing their bodies anymore or looking after their general and personal hygiene. And you will suddenly see that they are unable to maintain healthy relationships with people. They are unable to manage themselves, manage their finances, because all their money is being used to buy drugs. So those are some of the ways in which you can identify if your friend or your loved one is using drugs.
Alright, so how can we, you realize that in our society there's so many people who are using drugs, and drugs are so easily accessible even to the young people. It's so scary. What are some of the things that we can do to raise more awareness in our communities, as far as the dangers of drugs? Because I feel like sometimes when people go into drugs, they go in with ignorance. You don't know what you're getting yourself into. You only realize when you are now trapped and you can't come out. What awareness can we create? It's just for you. What do you think we can do to create more awareness in our society?
Well, firstly, it's important to understand that it will require a lot of support and quite a number of stakeholders in the community to be able to raise awareness on drug and substance abuse. So we can reach out to, there are quite a number of youth organizations these days, youth societies, that are focused on mental health, because why would a person use drugs? People use drugs as an escape to depression, to anxiety, to family problems. We can look out and reach out to these societies and promote them, because what they do indirectly indirectly is that they are also promoting the mental health and youth empowerment in our society. There are various organizations that are also raising awareness on drugs and substance abuse. For example, organizations that help people who are suffering from these mental disorders. There are free hotlines that are available where people can be able to reach out for support. If it's your loved one, if it's your friend, and you are unable to help, the best you can do is support them and to be able to locate the nearest rehabilitation center that's nearby. The best you can do is to support. But there are various and many organizations closer to your local area that you can be able to reach out to be able to seek for assistance, if it's for you or for your loved one.
I know, definitely. Let's get help. Let's get help for our loved ones, or if it is for you who's watching today. You know, we have heard the effects of drug abuse, what it can do to a person. You know, in the long run, it damages one's mind. You know, you get to forget. I think you can listen again for you to get the effects, but you see that they are not good for anybody's health. You know, so it's very, very important, especially those who are studying. Please let us focus on our studies, because some of these drugs, they slow us down. You know, you lose interest in your studies, you become distracted, and you are unable to even reach your goal of going through matric or even making it into varsity. So this is very, very important. If you are there and maybe you feel like, you know, I need help, you know, I was not aware of these effects, now I need help, will you please, reach out. You can even comment there down there in our comment section to say, or DM me, and then we can see how we can assist you. Or if you have further questions for our guest, you can leave them down below in the comment section and she will respond, and you can get help. We want people to get help, or your loved one to get help. It's very, very important. Drug abuse is not a small thing. We need to take it very seriously because it affects the future of our youth, you know, our future leaders. Some people, they are not able to reach where they're supposed to be because of drugs. So let us help our community, let us help our families, let us help, you know, our neighbors. Let's not be ignorant because it's not happening to you. So let us raise more awareness. Let us help, you know, to raise more awareness for people to become aware of what drug abuse can do to somebody. And I don't know, do you have any last advice for the people or for young people? Any wise words that you can share with them?
I would like to say to the young people out there that you have all the time and the opportunities that are available to really maximize your potential and be the best you can be. We understand that many of us go through challenges. We've got familial circumstances, background, maybe an issue, and there are some of the issues that we deal with personally, internally within ourselves. But there is a help for you out there. There is assistance. There are so many programs. There are so many societies that are out there available for us as the youth to empower us, to ensure that we explore these opportunities that are available for us out there to really maximize our potential. I would really like to say to yourself, to say to you as young people, take care of yourself. Take care of your health. These drugs, these substances may not be to the benefit of our health in the long term. There are many effects that happen over the long term, and we really want to live a long, a fulfilled, and a happy life. You can be happy. You can be happy, and you can do that without drugs. Don't do drugs.
Don't do drugs. You heard. All right. Thank you so much for coming through and sharing with us your knowledge. I have learned a lot. And yeah, I believe that somebody else out there has also picked up something, you know, made you aware of the things that you're not aware concerning drugs. Yes, let us spread awareness, you know, let us watch out. Also, we spoke about the symptoms. Watch out. If somebody is into drugs, let us be aware and help people. Sometimes they can't say when they need help, but by you picking it up, you can actually meet somebody halfway and change, you know, the path of their life. So yeah, we have indeed come to the end of our episode. Like said, if you have any questions, don't forget to leave them down below in the comment section. And don't forget to share this link, share this video with your friends, your families, and your colleagues, everyone. Share it with everybody. And lastly, do not forget to subscribe, and also click on that notification bell to ensure that you get updated when I post more videos. We are definitely coming back with more videos. In the next episode, we'll be continuing to speak about the drug abuse. It's very important. We're going to speak about it, so do not miss, do not miss, do not miss. All right, we love you so much. Stay tuned and see you next week. Stay blessed.